Jesse James, Billy the Kid, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Belle Starr, Wild Bill Hickok. These names are legendary. Hollywood made them into romantic rebels, Robin Hoods of the Old West, fighting against corrupt banks and railroads, living free outside the law. The reality? They were criminals. Most died young, broke, or in prison. And they mostly stole from ordinary people, not evil corporations. Let's separate myth from reality. Jesse James, probably the most famous outlaw in American history, was born in Missouri in 1847. During the Civil War, he and his brother Frank joined Quantrill's Raiders Confederate guerrillas, who operated in Missouri and Kansas. These weren't regular soldiers. They were irregular fighters who burned towns, killed Union supporters, and terrorized civilians. After the war ended in 1865, Jesse and Frank didn't stop. They formed a gang and started robbing banks and trains. Their first bank robbery was in Liberty, Missouri in 1866. They got away with about $60,000, nearly $1 million in today's money. Over 15 years, the James gang robbed banks, stagecoaches, and trains across the Midwest. They killed at least a dozen people during these robberies: bank tellers, guards, passengers, lawmen. Some victims were shot while surrendering, others killed just to eliminate witnesses. Newspapers made Jesse James famous. Some portrayed him as a heroic rebel still fighting the Civil War, stealing from northern banks and railroads to help poor Southerners. This was nonsense. Jesse robbed whoever had money, and he kept it for himself. The reality: Jesse James was a thief and a killer. He shot unarmed men. He terrorized small-town bank employees. He lived on the run, constantly moving, using aliases, never staying in one place long. In 1882, Jesse was living in St. Joseph, Missouri, under the name Thomas Howard. Two members of his own gang, Bob and Charlie Ford, made a deal with the governor. They'd kill Jesse in exchange for a pardon and reward money. On April 3rd, Jesse was straightening a picture on his wall when Bob Ford shot him in the back of the head. He was 34. Billy the Kid, born William Bonney around 1859, wasn't the legendary killer of 21 men. He probably killed 4 to 8 people. His real name might have been Henry McCarty, and he moved west with his family as a child. Billy got involved in the Lincoln County War in New Mexico Territory, a conflict between rival business factions over government contracts. He worked as a gunman for one side. This wasn't romantic rebellion. This was hired muscle in a business dispute. After killing a sheriff and several others, Billy was arrested. He escaped jail by killing 2 guards and went on the run. Sheriff Pat Garrett tracked him down at a ranch in Fort Sumner. Billy walked into a dark room where Garrett was waiting and died from a bullet to the chest. He was 21, and his outlaw career lasted only 3 years. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid led the Wild Bunch gang in the 1890s. Butch's real name was Robert Leroy Parker, born to a Mormon family in Utah. Sundance was Harry Longabaugh, nicknamed after being arrested in Sundance, Wyoming. The Wild Bunch was sophisticated. They planned carefully, had escape routes and hideouts ready, and used the newest weapons and horses. They were successful for years, stealing thousands from Union Pacific trains and various banks. But the Pinkerton Detective Agency was relentless. They tracked gang members, arrested some, killed others. By 1901, Butch and Sundance fled to South America. They tried going straight in Argentina, buying a ranch. When money ran out, they returned to robbery. In 1908, Bolivian soldiers cornered them after a heist. The final shootout was brutal. Both men died, either killed by soldiers or by suicide to avoid capture. They were buried in unmarked graves far from home. Belle Starr, called the Bandit Queen, had a more complex story. Born Myra Maybelle Shirley in Missouri in 1848, she married outlaw Jim Reed, who was killed by lawmen. Her second husband was Cherokee Sam Starr. Belle was involved in horse theft and harboring outlaws. She served 9 months in prison, but most of her legendary gunfights and bank robberies were invented by dime novels. She never shot anyone in a gunfight. In 1889, someone shot her in the back with a shotgun as she rode home. After she fell, they shot her again. She was 41. Her killer was never found. Belle Starr became more famous in death than in life. Wild Bill Hickok worked as a lawman but created most of his gunfighter reputation himself. Born James Butler Hickok in Illinois in 1837, he was a Union scout during the Civil War before becoming marshal in Kansas cowtowns. He told exaggerated stories about his gunfights. His actual kills numbered 6 to 8, not dozens. He lost his marshal's job after accidentally killing his deputy during a shootout in Abilene. His later years were sad drinking, gambling, performing in Wild West shows, losing his eyesight. In 1876, while playing poker in Deadwood, Jack McCall shot him in the back of the head. Hickok died holding aces in eights forever known as the dead man's hand. The pattern is clear. Real outlaws died young and violently, shot in the back, shot in the dark, killed by former friends, killed by lawmen. They died broke despite their robberies, spending money on drinking, gambling, and surviving on the run. They weren't Robin Hoods. Jesse James kept his stolen money. Billy the Kid worked for corrupt cattle barons. Butch and Sundance robbed trains carrying workers' payrolls. The real victims were ordinary people bank clerks, train passengers, stagecoach drivers, and small-town sheriffs doing their jobs. These weren't evil robber barons. They were working people who got shot during robberies. The myth grew through newspaper exaggeration and dime novels. Wild West shows featured romanticized reenactments. By the time Hollywood started making westerns, outlaws were firmly established as rebels against authority. Some came from difficult backgrounds. The post-Civil War period was chaotic, especially in border states. Some had been persecuted during the war. But that doesn't make them heroes. They chose crime. They killed innocent people. They terrorized communities. The West had plenty of real injustice. Broken treaties with Native Americans, exploitation of miners and cowboys, discrimination against Chinese immigrants, land fraud by railroads and speculators. Outlaws didn't fight any of that. They just robbed and killed for personal gain. Remember Jesse James shooting bank teller John Sheets in the face during a robbery in Gallatin? That's who outlaws really were. Criminals, not heroes. Most died young, died broke, and died violently. That's not romantic. That's just what happens when you live by the gun. The real story is less entertaining than the legend, but it's the truth.